Bruce's situation truly breaks my heart. I can't just watch him suffer.
Welcome to the part of the story most headlines skip: the gap between medical care and emotional care. Bruce Willis, action icon and father of 5, is living with frontotemporal dementia, a condition that rearranges daily life in ways most people never see. The public notices diagnosis, updates, and where he's living. The family lives the harder math: how to keep his world calm, dignified, and connected at the same time. That tension, clinical stability versus constant family presence, isn't a debate inside this blended family. It's a design problem they keep solving day by day. If you've heard dramatic rumors about rescues or relocations, set them aside. The real story is quieter, more deliberate, and in its own way, far braver. A plan that protects routine while inviting meaning. A structure strong enough to hold love without letting it flood the room. Frontotemporal dementia doesn't ask for permission. It changes language, behavior, and judgment. It can make time slippery and familiar faces feel misplaced. In this reality, routine becomes more than a preference. It's a therapy. Predictable mornings, low-stress afternoons, and early, gentle evenings are the scaffolding that keep the day from splintering. Even happy surprises can backfire. Too many inputs at once turn comfort into confusion. So the baseline goal is humane and practical. Reduce chaos, protect comfort, preserve small moments of clarity, and never let the day become a storm. Here's the pivot that shapes every decision. Medical stability doesn't cancel emotional richness. The best days live where structure meets recognition. A steady schedule creates room for a familiar song, a voice that still lands, a private joke that lights the face you were afraid you'd lost. This is the target the family keeps aiming at. Not a miracle cure, not a single dramatic fix, just crafted moments, repeated on purpose until they form a life that still feels like a life. When people heard Bruce now lives in a nearby one-story home with round-the-clock professional caregivers, reactions split. Some called it distant, others called it sensible. The truth is more tender, it's protective and loving. The separate home is not exile, it's design. It's close enough for daily access, yet quiet enough to safeguard routine. You take the unpredictable out of the equation. No slammed doors, no visitors dropping in at random, no toy avalanches, no ringing phones stacking pressure in the room. You build an environment where calm is the default setting, not a lucky break. This setup also protects 2 young daughters from the hardest hours while preserving real connection. After school, they can bring a drawing, cue a favorite scene, offer a hug, and step out before fatigue frays the edges. The home becomes a bridge, clinical support on one side, family life on the other, with a short walk between. If that sounds unromantic, that's because the most effective caregiving often looks like logistics. Grand gestures photograph well. The small, repeatable ones win the day. A good plan looks boring from a distance and brilliant up close. Demi returns to a line seasoned caregivers know by heart. Meet them where they are. It isn't a slogan. It's a map for the next conversation, the next visit, the next breath. You stop arguing with yesterday's version of the person you love. You honor the person in front of you now. If words don't cooperate, you lead with tone, touch, rhythm, and music. You stop asking memory to do heavy lifting. You start offering moments that feel good today. You trim questions with calendars hidden inside them and replace them with simple, present tense invitations. Regular visits become a form of fluent listening. Maybe his eyes brighten at a familiar voice. Maybe a smirk appears when an old line lands just right. Maybe you notice his shoulders drop when the vibe is calm and unhurried. None of that shows up on a chart, but it shows up in the room. That's the scene where professional care and family care lock together. Professionals calibrate meds, vitals, and safety. Family calibrates meaning. Done right, it isn't a tug of war, it's a duet. The internet loves to set medical and emotional care against each other. Inside this family, the winning answer is both, woven tightly enough that they feel like one thing. The internet prefers simple stories, a dramatic relocation, a single decision that resets everything. A rescue that fixes the emotional math overnight. Real life rarely flips like that. What's confirmed is steadier and stronger. A structured, close-by care home. Professional support at all hours. Family involvement that hasn't paused. If there's a question on the table, it isn't about addresses. It's about cadence. How do you increase family presence without destabilizing the routine that keeps symptoms steady? How do you turn up familiarity without flooding the room with stimuli? The most effective answer uses no moving trucks and very few announcements. It uses intention that scales. Short, scheduled family windows when energy is best. Single recognition cues. One song, one photo, one scene. Offered at a time, never as a flood. Entries that are soft. Exits that are softer. The goal isn't to yank consciousness backward, it's to place comfort within easy reach again and again until the day exhale feels natural. Plenty of families crack under the weight of fame, divorce, and new marriages. This one didn't. For more than 20 years, the Willis-Moore-Hemming circle has modeled a stable kind of love. Shared holidays that looked like reunions. Public moments where grace outran gossip. Private seasons handled without spectacle. That history matters in caregiving because it produces a rare advantage. Fluency. A caregiver can master a routine. A family masters a person. They know the old rhythms, what made him laugh on set, the song that softened a room, the jacket he grabbed when the air turned cool, the smell of coffee that always meant morning is good. In dementia care, that fluency is a superpower. A familiar voice can do in 30 seconds what a new technique might never manage. A single line from a film can spark recognition without forcing recall. A scent, a texture, a particular light through a particular window can anchor a drifting afternoon. None of this replaces professional structure. It amplifies it. Professionals hold the frame. Family paints inside it with colors only they know how to mix. If you want to enrich the emotional landscape without wrecking the structure, you move in 3 deliberate layers. Layer 1, scheduled presence. Build a weekly rhythm of short, predictable family windows inside the existing plan. Same time, same length, same tone. Late morning or early afternoon typically beats the evening when fatigue can fog the room. Visits work best with 1 or 2 people so inputs don't collide. End while the energy is still warm, not after it drops. Exits are soft. No dramatic goodbyes, just a gentle step down so the calm keeps going. Layer 2, curated cues. Create a small, rotating set of recognition triggers. A favorite song, a photo that warms without demanding perfect recall, a single film scene cued and ready. Offer 1 cue at a time. If it sparks, ride the wave. If it doesn't, let it pass. The point isn't to test memory, it's to offer comfort. A cue that fails today may work beautifully tomorrow. Your job is to be patient enough to notice, not forceful enough to insist. Layer 3, micro rituals that preserve identity. The same mug for tea, the same chair by the same window. A short walk to the same patch of sun, a favorite sweater at the same hour. Predictability isn't a prison in dementia care, it's a hand to hold. When the world tilts, ritual says, you know this part, you're safe here. These small, repeatable choices protect dignity by preserving agency. This mug or that one, window seat or patio, this track or the next. Micro decisions whisper, still choose. This turn it up without tipping it over method honors both the science and the soul. It respects the caregiver's structure while letting the family pour meaning into the day, like light through a lens. Focused, never blinding. Round-the-clock care is expensive. Coordinating family time takes logistics. Protecting children's routines while showing up for a parent with a progressive illness demands a level of discipline most households never have to learn. That's why intelligent design matters so much. A separate, calm home spreads the load across professionals and loved ones in a way that can actually last. Families burn out when they try to do everything at once. Caregivers burn out when every hour is a surprise. A sustainable plan divides labor. The medical team owns the baseline, the family owns familiarity. The kids get consistent, age-appropriate moments that feel like love instead of pressure. Talking about money and energy might feel unromantic. It's also honest. A plan that ignores cost and stamina is a plan that breaks, and when a plan breaks, the person in the middle pays the price. A plan that respects both can deliver more good days than bad. In this chapter, winning looks like a dozen small mercies arriving on time. No crisis at dinner, no agitation at bedtime. A smile that lasts through a song. A room that ends the day softly instead of collapsing. That's the scoreboard that matters now. A strong week keeps the base steady. Same wake-ups, meals, and rest windows, while weaving in meaning that never overwhelms the system. Picture Monday, late morning. A daughter arrives for a short visit with a small sketch and a favorite song already cued, offering 10 calm minutes that end before the room tires. Midweek, an early afternoon voice note from an old friend plays while tea steeps. It doesn't test memory, it simply offers warmth, and a smile or soft breath counts as a win. By Friday, Demi sits unhurried for 20 minutes with no agenda. Maybe an old line floats by. Maybe it's quiet sunlight across a familiar sleeve, because sometimes presence says more than conversation. Threaded through the week are gentle sensory anchors, a dab of familiar cologne on a cuff, the soft jacket he always reaches for, background music that's present but never loud. Just as important are micro choices that protect agency. This mug or that one, the sunlit corner or the patio, this track or the next. Small decisions that whisper, you still choose. For the kids, contact stays short and predictable. Show the drawing, share the joke, hug while the moment is warm, then head back to homework and bedtime so their routine remains intact. That's the hybrid in motion. The care home guards the day, the family animates it, and everyone leaves with something preserved. The patient's dignity, the children's sense of safety, and the adult's strength to do it again tomorrow. There is no cure in this chapter. There's only care. Care steady enough to hold the day together and human enough to make the day worth having. The separate home isn't a rejection of family. It's a container that keeps love from flooding the room. The professional team isn't a replacement for connection. It's the framework that lets connection land softly. And this blended family everyone admires isn't arguing over medical versus emotional. They're weaving both, moment by moment, into something strong enough to hold a person they all cherish. The headline version of this story wants a cinematic rescue, a single move that resets the narrative. The real version is quieter and braver. A calendar filled with small, repeated promises, voices that know when to speak and when to sit in the sun. A team of professionals and a circle of loved ones doing different jobs for the same reason, to make as many days as possible feel calm, present, and gently lit with the life they built together. That isn't a plot twist. That's love growing up. And if there's a legacy to learn from here, it's this. The gold standard in dementia care isn't choosing between routine and relationship. It's holding them both, carefully, consistently, together until the very end. If you appreciate clear, compassionate breakdowns without the noise, hit subscribe and share your take. Please keep it respectful for the family.